Has anyone here have a parent who has no filter anymore?
Yes.
Does anyone here have no filter anymore themselves?
Yes.
That's me. And I'm very scared about it because my brain is battling for what comes out of my mouth. The left side will say something, just say something nice and boring. And the right side is going, blurt out whatever idiotic thought is running around in that wasteland of a brain without consequence. Just say it. And so my wife was really happy during COVID because I didn't have a lot of public interaction. At work, I keep very careful what I say. But when I do with the public, I'm worried about what's going to come out. I'll give you 3 examples. They all involve my Achilles heel, young women. One was at a pharmacy, one's at a library, one's at a cleaner's. Pharmacy, CVS. My wife does all the shopping, so I just went to CVS. I go to CVS to buy condolences cards. It's sad, but I go in there because I like to get a certain type of card. It's blank on the inside, it just says, thinking of you. I saw one recently, it said on the outside, empathy is cool. Imagine getting that. So I just want sweet blank cards. And if I find one I like, then I'll write a story about the person who passed away, put it in the card. And so I buy them in bulk. So I bought 9 of them. I go up to the counter. The young woman is a blonde, in her 20s. She's never looked at me. I'm invisible. She's got her phone and the scanner. But she starts scanning, and there's a line behind me. And she gets to about the 6th card, and she's disgusted. And she goes, geez, you know a lot of dead people. So I should have just said, I'm getting older. What came out of my mouth? Train crash. It was floating around my head. I just blurted it out. That got her attention. She looked up from the phone and she said, oh my God, where? I said, out west. She goes, where out west? I have family out west. I go, Oregon? And she goes, oh, thank God, in Oregon. How did it happen? A goat got on the railroad tracks. I got it mixed up with the Himalayas there. And I had to leave the pharmacy before I got further trapped. And now I can't go back to the CVS. Because if I do, she's going to go, how do you know 9 separate people and a baseball team? I have no good answer. Library. This library right down here. There's a young lady. Been talking to her for years. Very nice. When I rent something out, we'll talk about the books afterwards. And she's mixed race and she's liberal, and she'll say to me, what'd you think? And I'll go, they really stuck it to the patriarchy. I love this book. And we have a nice relationship. One day, though, my son told me this artist I should get an album from. I said, okay. I come in and I say, hi, how you doing? And I said, I have a CD on hold. And she starts laughing. She goes, you're so funny, CD. I go, no, seriously, I have a CD. And she goes, okay, here's a CD. And she goes, oh, it's a country western CD. And there's nothing wrong with country western. There's nothing like Rihanna does country western. But in her eyes, I now think she thinks I'm wearing a MAGA hat. So I panic. And it was Black History Month. And I reached and I said, and I'll also take this book. And I grabbed a book, Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. And I said, I'll also take this. And she goes, oh, that's great. Did you read The Underground Railroad? And I just free fall. I didn't read that. I didn't read 12 Years a Slave. I didn't read or see Killers of How Many Aardvarks or whatever. I didn't do any of that. I said, I did watch Schindler's List. And she goes, what the hell are you talking about? And I go, I don't know, things that are sad and long and you never get around. And she goes, I'm just going to reshelve some things now. And she goes, enjoy your CD. And I go, oh yeah, I'll probably listen to it while I read the book. And she goes, really? I go, no. Last one is The Cleaners. I will not do the accent, but she speaks broken English, which is relevant to the story. I go to the cheapest cleaners around. It's a long ride. When I go there, I have a suit on. What I always do, because it's a long ride, is I take my dress shirt off in the parking lot and put on a t-shirt to save trips. Whenever I come in, she says the same thing. She goes, because I have a suit bottom one with a t-shirt. And she goes, "You not work today?" And I always say the same thing. "Oh, no, I got out early." One day, though, she said to me, "These shirts one of these is not yours." And I said, "No, my son was home from college." And she goes, "Yeah, I noticed it. He does not have your broad shoulders." Your laughter saddens me. So I stood up and said, "Well, I try to keep in shape." And I told this to my daughter, and my daughter goes, "What, was she high?" Said she wasn't high. She happens to be an expert in body types. And she said, "What, are you high?" So after that, we got closer, and we talked about, she's from Vietnam, and I found out about her background, and she's a sweet lady. I went in there one hot summer day. It was grueling out, and that cleaners was an oven, and there was a long line of people, and everybody was making it difficult for her, one after another. People were being tough. And when I got up to her, she said to me, she leaned forward. She doesn't know what I do for a living, but she leaned forward and goes, "Sometimes at your job, do you just cry?" And I said, yeah, I do. And for a few brief moments, we crossed all bridges and barriers between sex, age, nationality. We're a country of immigrants pursuing the American dream. It was a beautiful moment. For about 25 seconds. You're scared, right? And then I said, "Could you make sure the shirts have medium starch? Last time I didn't get the medium starch." And her face fell. She looked at me sad, nodded her head. And now when I go into that cleaners, her son comes out. He speaks perfect English, and he always says the same thing to me. "Medium starch?" Thank you, guys.